should have showed Kelly how to do this. Went step by step. But we ain't gonna do that right now because
I just saw how you did it.
You know, you saw it, but you didn't do it though. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it.
I know how to do it by myself.
Anyway.
So
You're so competitive. This was you. It's you. Why are you touching me? Why are you touching me?
Calming you down.
I am not a dog. I
don't have no pets. I ain't never had to calm down by.
Anyway, we are live, people. Guess what? Hi, everybody. How you doing on Facebook? God bless you. All of our listeners on podcast, God bless you. All the people on Google Podcasts, Radio Plus, Breaker, Anchor. God bless you. Soon be on Apple Podcasts. God bless you all. God bless you. Guess what? We are back at it again. Okay. There's only two of us this time. The third couple, guess what? They was like, look, we can't do this right now. But not for it. No, but third couple had some errands they had to take care of. We're gonna miss them, but we are gonna talk about them like they here because I'm ready like that. I am. I'm referring to Nakia Pollard and Lacey Pollard. Okay, I say their whole name. If I remember their middle name, I think Nakia's is I think her middle name is Latia or something. I think it's some crazy name. No, Olivia. No, it's something. But I remember it. When I remember her middle name, if you know it, put it in the comment section. Okay, if you do know it, okay, or text me. All right. Anyway, we are live. Hey, guess what? Hey, thank you so much for tuning in with us on this great Monday afternoon. She said, Nakia said, don't come for us. I'm coming. Shots fired. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Anyway, thank you. So everyone, please follow the Word Restoration page, follow the Congress Service page, follow us on our podcast. Congratulations to the podcast. One claps up. Okay. I need to see all the claps. Go follow us on the podcast. Trust me, there's like a whole bunch of detailed conversations on there. We're going to be releasing new episodes every week. We also have some great content that we're going to continue to share. This is going to be season 3, episode 1. All right. Season 3, episode 1. All right. And we're talking about marriage, the do's and the don'ts of marriage. Now, I'm going to give this proclaimer right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. These are just our opinions, which is not tied to anyone else. Not no book, not no past relationships or anything like that. This is just our do's and don'ts. Okay. Do not, I repeat, do not take what we say and make it a Bible. Okay. Make it the law, the commandments. Don't do it. I am not responsible for your marriage. Okay. You are responsible for your marriage. Okay. Each individual in the whole entanglement.
Entanglement?
Not entanglement. God, wrong word to use. Not entanglement. The relationship.
Not an entanglement, Lord.
The relationship. Okay. All right. Y'all friends. Y'all are responsible. Okay. All right. Again, guess who's with us? Our favorite couple, at which everyone they see them waving. Oh yeah, I forgot. Follow us on YouTube too. We got our own YouTube channel. Anyway, I forgot that. That was another little plug. Anyway, our favorite couple on the other side of the pillow. Okay.
On the other side of the pillow.
On the other side, everybody. You never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
You never heard the other side of the pillow? Like they cool on like the other side of the pillow. They cool people.
Learn new Hey, I didn't hear that. I've never heard that one either, but you learn something new every day, I guess. Hey,
he be around a whole bunch of old people. That's what he be. He be around a bunch of old people.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. My grandfather said a lot of things to me. It didn't make sense then, but it made sense today. I'm telling you. Like Peter told Paul, that's all. I knew who Peter was. I knew who Paul was. I now understand why I thought that's all. I'll let y'all figure it out anyway.
I Google it.
Someone says, I won't. Good, great. So if you can hit that like button, hit that share button as we continue to go forth. Our favorite couple, go ahead, reintroduce yourselves to everyone just in case they forgot who you was.
Yeah, my name's Josh. And I've kind of become, I think, not only a participant, but I think I'm like the resident I'm a therapist, so I'm a talk therapist. So I become the resident,
He is the resident
information garb of therapy over here. So, which I really like doing. So I'm that guy, always, stopping and saying, but wait, look at it from this therapy lens. So yeah, let my wife introduce herself.
I'm Katie. I'm Josh's wife.
I love it. She knows who she is. Anyway, like I said, look, Josh, this is my opinion. Pay attention to this, okay? Listen to the theory behind this, okay? All right, the theory. When you met your wife, what was her last name?
Lighter.
See? All right. See, now I'm about to help you, okay? Now her new name is
Jostock.
Okay? Katie Jostock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that life is no more. Now you have ownership. Okay. All right. Ownership. Okay. All right. Ownership. Okay. All right. Because she gave up that life.
Let me tell you something about that, because I was kind of for a second kind of back and forth. Do I want to keep my last name? Do I want to hyphen it? All that stuff. But really what made me feel like I wanted to change my last name was I'm starting a new life and a new family with this man, and I am choosing this man and choosing this new life. So that's why
I choose to change my last name. I choose.
I have ownership
of
that choice.
There you go. I feel like I need like one of those like breakaway disclaimers in your podcast, like Joshua Jostock, and hopefully change something, does not condone
right in here.
Comments and behaviors.
We'll put all disclaimers at the end.
Yes.
Again, I meant to tell you, like we said at the beginning, do not take what we say too hard. Okay.
No, take that.
All right.
Podcast may cause marital problems, stomach problems, heartburn, and death.
Right.
Oh,
great.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, happy to be here tonight.
Yes, very happy.
I've been looking forward to this, to our conversations, because I know we got short amount of time, because there's a bumble of joy that's coming, that's going to change everything in our household. They don't know it yet, but this is like, what is like in hurricane levels, there's like 5 different types of levels in hurricane. Okay, got to 1, got to 2, got to 3. This is beyond 5, okay? Okay, yes it is. A child it's beyond. Oh, but they having a boy, so never mind. Y'all's gonna be good.
Okay, easy and successful is gonna be your ways.
It's successful should be your ways. Okay, we speak that in your lives right now.
Yes,
easy and successful.
Easy.
I pray that she don't be in labor for 44 hours or anything like that. Keep it short and sweet, baby. Come in, come like that.
Hey, when it happens, we might be broadcasting from a padded room next time.
Okay,
right.
Let's broadcast it. Okay.
Yeah, but I really appreciate for y'all participation. I love talking with you guys, and pretty much everyone loves hearing from you, especially because you keep us level-headed. And I'm the bad example, okay? Yes, people are saying congratulations on Facebook. Don't say congratulations.
They saying can't take away our rights of choice.
Oh, that was to Brandy.
See.
Oh no, hold on. What we not about to do?
Yes,
what we not about to do
that.
What
okay?
we not doing this? We're not about to snap fingers, okay? You know what? Which leads to number 1, the dumps. Okay. Okay. This is Carlton's dump. Okay. Carlton. I said it. Tyrone dump.
In your mind.
Right?
Come on, in your mind.
This does something to a man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it ties back until ancient times or anything like that. I don't know. To the Middle Ages. I don't know. To the Renaissance. I don't know. To the beginning of Adam and Eve.
Oh, Lord.
I think so. The beginning of Adam and Eve.
Really?
Because look, in the Bible, Adam and Eve was like, here, husband, take this. It was like a demand. I think it was a demand. I think it was a demand. And she was like really aggressive when she said, eat of this.
How do you know? Was it quotation marks?
I felt like it was.
It quotation marks?
Anyway,
there was not a quotation mark, so she could have been like, here, honey, would you like some?
No, she didn't say that.
Would you like some? And he was like, sure.
No.
And that's what
I think he was forced because he like, this is a woman and I don't know how to deal with her. And God didn't come with an instruction manual with her, like what I should do, no, how I should say no to her. And I think that's what it was. Okay.
Listen, if it is Sunday or Monday night and we're watching American Idol and Lionel Richie starts crying and like, you know, pouring into a, you know, potential next star and he's making me cry, I'm going to have snaps for him. I'm going to have snaps.
Yeah.
I feel like I need another disclaimer. Josh Jostock does not condone the version of the Bible put forth by the version of Adam and Eve put forth by.
Disclaimer. Okay, the version of the Bible. To me, what version you read? I'm reading out the King Carlton version. Okay.
See? Wrong.
Okay?
Wrong.
KC version.
Don't
okay?
read that at all.
KC version. KCB version.
Wait,
King
that?
Carlton. KCB. KCB.
Carlton, but you can't do that. That's on copyright.
King Carlton version.
Yeah, he's gonna be in trouble.
King
the
Carlton.
lawyer's about to come for him.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in the beginning, Adam and Eve, you think about it. If you think about it, if you read in the text, in between the text.
You always like to talk about Adam and Eve.
Because that's where the beginning.
That he is wrong, though. He was just wrong.
Who was wrong? She was wrong.
He was wrong. Who did God get instructions to?
Accountability. Who did
God get instructions
accountability.
to Adam.
The accountability was to both parties.
Hey, honey.
See, now
we're
you
not
see
supposed
this?
to eat that, honey.
No, did she say that?
Hey,
No,
honey.
she didn't.
That's what
she ate. She allowed another man come in,
which
which brings us to number 2, adults. Okay, number 2. This is very important. Which number 2? This is very important. Okay, all right. All seriousness, this is number 2. Very important. Of a don't.
Okay.
In your marriage.
Uh-huh.
All right.
You don't want me to touch you?
No, I ain't say that. I say the don'ts. Okay. Don't allow other people in your relationship. See, y'all thought I was about to be petty. I did. I wanted to be petty.
Well, guess what?
Josh
is a therapist, so we have to allow him in because he's a therapist.
Yeah, that's
whatever he says.
I said
we
man.
Have to work on.
I said man.
He is a man.
Oh my God.
Or about to get Nakia.
No, what I'm saying is, when I say don't allow
because
another
she got
man,
some stuff to say. Carlton over here acting up.
Well, I don't care about Nakia. She ain't about that life.
Where you at, girl?
Wow.
See, she don't want to show her face. That's why she's scared. Okay.
Oh.
I see how the disrespect is starting already. That's amazing.
Nakia, it's good for you.
Because I felt like you was gonna try to drag us, you know, and come for my husband. You just being a hater because you miss his voice on the line.
He does have a great voice.
Yeah.
What? Whoa, wait a minute.
He got very white voice, okay?
I don't care about that man's voice.
Where's Barry at?
I don't care about that man. I don't care about that man's voice. I just talked to him.
That's
Okay?
what you said.
I still love you, Lacey. I love you, bro.
Wow.
You condom forever.
Oh, Lord.
My brother. Oh, and she.
You're
Oh.
gorgeous. Come on, girl. I got to go put my face on.
I know.
Hey guys.
Did she put a hoe? Where is this?
Come on, gorgeous.
Do your husband know that you out like this? See
At
that?
home.
Out where? I'm at home. He's out.
All right. I gotta call him. God darn it. Do he even know?
Leave him alone.
Oh, I gotta call him.
Now you about to text him and stuff?
I'm about to buy. Forget it.
Yeah, tell him to get on here so he can look at me. Hey, boo. Hey.
See, this is
See, hey.
she said, hey. All right.
Hey, okay.
Anyway, don't support Nakia foolishness. Okay, look.
Look, there go them finger snaps again. You better get it, girl. Okay.
Hey. Let me make sure I can hear you. All right.
All right. Yeah, we have Nakia on her, the other half of the Pollards. Not the good half, but the other.
No,
half.
the best half. The best half.
I said, wait a minute.
Thank you for that.
Wait a minute. The
I
man,
couldn't see myself.
God made man.
What does that mean?
I just said it. God made man.
And we are women.
And you came from us. Okay, you came from us. Okay,
There we go.
all right.
We were the upgrade. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Well, they only had a little small piece of us, not even a full rib.
And
okay?
look what we
Anyway.
get. Look
we
at this
can do.
gorgeousness
Look
that
what
we get.
can
Okay,
do with little. Look what we can do.
okay. You can't do that. You still have.
You know, I
that
set y'all
man.
up, and there goes the snapping fingers from
Okay.
Katie. There she goes. There she goes. I see how this is going. I'm all by myself on this island. Okay, I'm fine with it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay. Okay. Yes, you are by
Guys,
yourself.
don't get on the
all
boat.
right? Because the other man ain't here. All right. All right. Josh knows better. He's a smart man. He's a smart man.
That's why he in the boat.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn some stuff from Josh. Josh, teach him. Help him, please. Josh, help him.
Once I heard him going off, I started replaying favorite TV shows in my head.
Nice. Nice.
Man. All right. All seriousness. Like I said, part 2 of the don'ts.
Mm-hmm. What don't?
Well, I said about people in your relationship.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Your auntie, co-workers,
Okay.
your best friend.
Don't look this
your
way.
mama auntie.
This is what you don't do.
Okay.
You don't do it like I've already been doing it.
I wasn't looking at. Are you guilty?
You was looking at me
Are
like,
you guilty?
This what you don't
She's
do.
guilty. I ain't even said
This
nothing.
person,
I ain't even said nothing.
This person.
Yeah.
Did I say names?
You don't
Did
even
I
have
say
to
Audrey?
look
but you were
Did I say Tiffany? Did I say
You were looking this
Shatia?
way. So
I was looking. I was having a conversation.
Don't do that. When you talking like that, then you just look straight, okay?
Oh my
You
gosh.
look straight. Don't look to the side like this.
What? You don't even have to let people in your relationship. Like sometimes you could be helping other people so much that it's just like you spread yourself so thin that that it can be a hindrance to the relationship. Like, listen, you can't save everybody. Maybe you could before you got married, but now you got a family to save. So
yeah, when you say that, Carlton, it makes me think of choosing each other first every time. And I think there's time and place to, I don't know if let people into your relationship, but like be transparent or forthcoming or disclosing, but you always have to choose each other. And there is such a thing as having too many cooks in the kitchen. And I think especially when a marriage is not doing well, right, we have a tendency to go tell a friend, and that can be healthy. That can be, hey, I'm going through this thing, but you start getting too many cooks in the kitchen, it can get really confusing. It can feel very hurtful to the other person because it can feel like they're going behind someone's back. And that's kind of where a therapist can step in, right? Sort of this objective third party to sort of point out whatever that person's feeling and help communicate things like that. In this pandemic, I've seen, there's been a lot of babies, I'm sure, to come out of this pandemic, but lots of relationship struggle because we have people at home together all the time. They're not used to that. And it's sort of has been able to highlight, I'm sure, some great features of marriages and also some real deficits or things to be worked on in marriage. And if you don't have the communication skills, that makes for a long quarantine. That makes for a long pandemic.
Yeah, I believe during this whole time of the pandemic, I believe God was taking us back to the fundamentals of what he had started in the beginning of the book of Genesis, of ordaining marriages.
Oh, yeah.
To marriage, back to family, back to, you concentrate on your job, your other careers, other interests that you have in life. No. Go back to the basics. I need you to go back. Here's my favorite word, Nakia's favorite word, master your marriage. Master. Let's go back and mastering our family, mastering how we raise our children, go mastering how we love our spouses, getting to know them, because it's a fact. Me and Kelli been married for 15 years, but at the same time, we are changing and evolving, and we should be changing, evolving together. And during the pandemic, you saw a lot of people either come to this like this or like this.
Yeah. Sure have.
Again, for those who are married or who are in relationships, we do support therapy. Individual therapy, couples therapy, we support both. I believe that you should get both, okay? Yeah. For yourself, because there's some things you need to deal with, then also you as a couple, y'all should get support as well. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with going to your pastor and having those conversations. But at the same time, I believe there is an opportunity where you can further advance yourself by getting outside help that people that don't know you your situation.
Yeah, that's huge.
Right.
That's not a disclaimer. I'm saying, hey, follow that. That's a command, okay? All right, no, I ain't putting no disclaimer on that one, okay? I'm not putting none, okay? Do that, okay?
Carson, I have a question for you because you probably do a lot of guidance and
I try, man.
you know, sometimes I hear people talk about, you know, there's like many different marriages within the marriage, or the idea that sort of a marriage runs in seasons and the needs change in a marriage. And so one person once told me, actually, they were a pastor. They said, you know, usually one marriage really consists of these five different marriages. You know, it's like the marriage before kids, marriage during kids, a marriage during teenage. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a good way to sort of describe marriage?
I do believe this. There is a difference between a couple that is married with kids, and there's a couple that is married with no kids. That's two different scales of what you're facing, the type of weight that y'all facing with each other. I do believe that. I believe there are 5 different seasons. I want to say you say 5 different seasons, or how many?
Yeah, and they were talking about like inevitably the couple will hit, despair. Like something tragic will happen. Maybe the loss of someone close, or a child gets sick, right? And you enter sort of this new marriage, and really the point being is that the needs of the two people in the marriage, they alter about 5 times in a long marriage, where it's just like, and as couples, you don't sit and talk about like, okay, how is our marriage different now than it was, say, 2 years ago? How are our needs different now? How do we love each other now? How do we need to feel and show love now? I think that's a really interesting thing. And with marriage too, I always tell people, strike when the iron's cold. That's what's cool about these conversations, is that it's a conversation in a fun, light way, right? If you're trying to fix things in your marriage when it's either a moment or it's in a really rough spot and the people you're feeling anger or resentment, that's a tough time to fix, to repair. Best to strike when the iron is cold, when things are good. That's when marriage can be really talked about in a healthy, productive way, where if they're a couple and they come to me and they're at the point where like, we don't know what to do anymore, so much emotional distance has grown. That's a hard thing to repair. But if you're out to dinner and you're having a good time, you can talk about like, hey, like, what are you, how do you feel love now that we're in our 40s? Or what do you think about our needs? How are our needs different now than they were when we first got married? I think that's so important. And that's the beauty of what you're doing here. Starting a conversation.
Yeah, I believe, okay, in that aspect, I do believe, because I'm looking back at it when we got married. I was very young when she, took me off the market. You know what I'm saying? I was a free agent. You know what I'm saying? She took me off. She was like, hey,
undrafted.
Right here, I gotta have that one.
She's an undrafted agent.
Whoa. Wait.
Okay, there.
I heard right there. But anyway,
Sorry, my bad.
I get over. I have communion next month. I get over it. I have communion. I forgive you, my sister. Anyway, in my 20s, my expectations was a difference between what I'm in right now in my 30s. Because our household changed and things that need to be done changed. And we just started off with, right off the bat, with a baby boy. Our first year of marriage, we didn't get a chance, the opportunity to learn one another. So
we'll learn one another as in living together.
Yeah, because
being able to go out and do stuff together.
Yeah, because
I think it's always changing. It's always different levels. I mean, you can be at level 5 like 1 month and then go down to level 1 the next month. Like, so I think it's always changing.
Yeah.
I feel like we're so much better now than we were before. Like, okay, we didn't know how to communicate, when we were younger. We didn't know how to get our point across.
No, failure. Hell yeah.
But it was like extra hard because you can't even talk about anything like that because now you have a screaming baby right here. Okay, the baby needs this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's a lot. So now that we
Yeah.
are older, we are able to talk to one another. We are able to like go out on dates and stuff like that. So it's like,
I think
you don't want to go back there, but you know what I mean? Like it's so much better.
Like we are in like reverse right now. How I can put it? We in reverse. Like so, we are back.
Maybe our marriage should have been like this
in the year 1 through 5.
Yeah.
1 through 5.
Yeah.
Because I say like I always do. I do. Years 1 through 5 was rough for us.
But like, right, every relationship is different. But
right.
Yeah, for us it was.
And I know looking up at the stats of like marriages, and a lot of them said a lot of marriages from 1 through 5 is the roughest time where the divorce rate is higher and everything because people are now meshing, and a lot of times when they mesh, it doesn't include well. It doesn't to one. So it's like taking slime outside and you're trying to put it together with mud. It just doesn't come well. It's not turning out well. It's like, oh, this is ugly. This is filthy. Throw the whole thing away. So that's 1 through 5. I understand when people say years 1 through 5 was rough. Oh, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like, again, I don't think it would have been as rough if we didn't have if we didn't have our kids back then.
So you blaming the kids?
No.
Kids?
Go ahead, open up the door and tell them. Come on, call them in.
We love our kids. I put that disclaimer right there now. I love my kids.
Absolutely.
Carlton the third, Kendall, Honey, and
you know your kids' name?
No. Caitlin and Caitlin.
You just call them kids. See?
Kids. 1, 2, or 3. Thing 1, thing 2, thing 3.
You're thing 1.
No.
Yeah, I remember. I don't have the stats in front of me, but there's a pretty alarming stat about divorces in the first year of marriage. A lot of divorces in that first year, 18 months, and then there's this thing called like the 7-year itch, right? And the idea is that if you can make it past the first 7 years of marriage, divorce rate really starts to drop off. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look that up. Where it's like after that first 7 years, if you're still together, the chances that you're going to continue to be together for a long, long time.
Murder.
You know what's interesting?
Hey.
What is it called on TV1?
Well, he's telling us something with his eyes. I think he's saying he's having a great time.
So, all the viewers out there who don't know, if I'm blinking so much, it's because
something wrong with him, and I'm going to call 911 to help him. I hear him screaming because I'm trying to,
If anything happened to me, people, please know I'm not Tupac. When I say Kelly killed me, I'm not. Okay? I'm not Tupac.
Sorry.
I just put that out there. Kelly killed me. All right.
He ain't really
check the beneficiaries. She trying to get all the money. Kelly killed me. Okay. I'm not going to continue saying Kelly killed me. I'm not going to say all that throughout the whole program. Kelly killed me. I'm not going to say that.
We're going to be living great. Don't you want my kids to live great
after my death? My death will make y'all live.
Yeah.
I gotta sacrifice my life. Jesus sacrifices. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Jesus paid it all.
No, he didn't pay for you. He didn't pay for you.
You see what I go through?
He didn't. Okay.
You see what I go through, Josh?
Again, I'm replaying just favorite TV episodes right now. You know what else is really interesting about like that first year is I don't really know the like average age people get married today. It's obviously I think like increased, when people get married. The brain doesn't, this is really sciencey, but your brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25 or 26 years old. And the last piece of your brain to develop, I don't know if people find this interesting or not, is your frontal lobe. And in your frontal lobe, that's in charge of executive function, like decision making, expressive language, like making those big important decisions. So you think about it, right? You get married right around that time. Your brain's actually still developing, which is crazy. You're maybe moving, maybe you're living with someone for the first time. Maybe you're moving out of your own, like your family house for the first time. There's so much change. And like you just said, I think that's a really good example. It's like you start to do the work, you're trying to build the slide, and it's not there. And sometimes it's no one's fault. And then it's up to the couple to be like, okay, do we want to work on this? Do we care about each other enough to go through the therapy or like have these long discussions together? And it really comes down to, and I tell couples this all the time, you have to be able to creatively problem solve, right? That's what marriage is. You have to creatively problem solve. And if you can't do that, and that requires listening, you have to listen in order to creatively problem solve. So if you can't do that, it's tough. And people come to my office and they fight. And after a couple sessions that I stop and say, hey, you know what? The fact that you're fighting means that there's enough here that you care about. Mm-hmm. But, you know, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Because right now you're fighting about being right and wrong.
Yeah.
Would you rather be yeah. I see happy. I see you mouthing.
I'm on the couch right now. I'm like, hey, Josh, I'm on the couch. Go ahead.
and oh my gosh. And the last thing I'll say is I really believe that marriage is so informed by the relationships our parents had and what was going on when we were young. That's a lot of times that can be a tough mold to break or maybe a big thing to live up to or whatever. But anytime I'm with a couple, I always ask about their parents. Were they together? Were they divorced? If they're together, what was it like? Was there a lot of love? And you hear the stories like, well, my parents are together, but they weren't in love. And so it's an important thing to talk about even as a couple. Like, how is it that I'm this way?
You brought a great point because that just brought me, yeah, that's a great point. So let me ask you this. Not trying to, well, I don't be on personal, sorry. But I came from a household that was married, then divorced. She came from a household, was single mother. Both of your parents were married, both of you?
Yes. Yeah, our parents are still married.
Still married? Still married?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nakia, marriage background.
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Nakia.
Yeah, you're on mute. Did you mute yourself, Nakia?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Nakia, I think you mute yourself.
It doesn't say she's on mute.
Yeah. All right, she ain't on mute.
Huh.
This is just the way I like all my ladies.
Oh gosh.
Jostock doesn't.
This is a dude. You see this moment? I'm winning. I'm winning. Yes.
You know what though? On that point, while she's getting.
What about now?
Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is.
God darn it, Lacey.
Oh yeah. My parents were married when I was born, and then they divorced.
So, Josh, let me ask you this: does that affect the way we view marriage and how we approach our marriages? Like, when my parents got divorced, I really didn't think it was like that big of a deal to me because I was older. I wasn't like a young child or anything. What about you, Nakia? Was it when you was older?
No, I was young. Honestly, I really don't remember my parents ever being together. I just know that they were married and, together and, before I was born and all of that. But I don't have any memory of them being together. My father remarried. He's still married.
So does that?
Yeah, but I mean, our Lacey's parents have been married for 34 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and so I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think from what I hear in my practice, from an anecdotal standpoint, is that I think for a lot of people that come from a divorced parents, there is something to be said about like, hey, that is not what I want for my family, and we're gonna work through our stuff. We're not gonna give up. We're gonna. I don't think it's different for everybody, but I think there's this real sense of like making sure it's a strong family unit. So because, divorce when the child is young, it's considered a trauma for the child, and trauma actually affects the brain. So again, I'm getting kind of sciencey. So I guess short answer is I definitely think it informs how we view our own marriage and relationships. And I think it can be slightly different from everybody. But again, from what I've heard, it's like, no, I'm going to commit. I'm going to work this out because I am not going to, especially when there's kids involved, like I am not going to put my kid through that trauma. Doesn't work every time. But I think what I see a lot of people are when they'll come in and be like, we are not stopping this marriage. I'm not putting my kids through what I went through. So it's interesting.
So yeah, it's interesting that you say that because like when you talk about the effect that it has on you as an adult, and like I thought about it before, different things would cross my mind in relationships, or or maybe not until somebody asked me my idea of family, or marriage or whatever, and I just knew what kind of marriage I didn't want, but I didn't necessarily like have a plan for marriage. I was like, I was never one of those little girls that had these fantasy dreams about, oh, and my dress is gonna be this and it's gonna be that, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do any of that, So, in fact, I still tried to have my wedding like as fast as possible. So. Like literally there's a video of my wedding somewhere on Facebook. The whole thing was about 15 minutes. But I was there. Now in the actual marriage though, I can tell the difference between my thought about family structure versus his, because his parents have never been split up. He's never had to split time between parents or pick which, who he was gonna spend Christmas with, and who you're gonna do birthdays with, or you know what I mean? None of those things. You have never had to wait on a parent to come pick you up or any of those things, split your summer or so. And I find that in my mind, things that I feel like I have to really, really work hard at just come naturally for him, because he's like, relax. Like I'm constantly working on and like picking at little things. And I had to, at some point, just take a breath and kind of relax, because it's like what Josh said. I'm like, nope, because no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to have that problem. We're not going to blah, blah. We like, is this good? Is that good? What you think about this? How you feel about this? And he felt like you something must be wrong. Why are you constantly trying to fix things? And I was like, no, I'm actually really happy. And I just want to make sure it stays that way. Like my fear is it falling apart and not maintaining this, great, awesome feeling. And in his mind, he's like, yeah, well, this how it's supposed to be. Like he doesn't have a concept of, oh, everything is getting ready to fall apart. Does that make sense? Yeah. In his mind, he's like, no, we don't have to keep having a conversation about this. Like, I'm good. Everything's fine, because he's accustomed to it just flows smoothly. This is normal. This is how it's supposed to be. And to me, it's rare. You got to hold on to it. He's like, no, it's just what it is. Like, just let it be, what it is. But this is all I've ever seen. To me, this is normal. I can't imagine that it would be something else.
That's gold. You should write that down. I'm going to use that as an explanation.
All my good stuff comes out when I talk to you, Josh. All my good stuff.
But she's on the couch. She's on the couch.
I'm on the couch, man. I know my husband loves this. I get it. I understand now, like, why he loves these sessions so much. Like, man, you just bring it out of me. I'm gonna write a book. Talking to Josh.
You should write down what you just said.
Talking with Josh. Talking with
Josh.
Hey, I just want everyone to know out there on Facebook, okay? You still can reach Josh. I'm gonna put his website up. If you ever need counseling or anything like that, I'm gonna put his information up, and you can directly contact him. Don't come and talk to me, because what I'm gonna tell you is I forgot, and I'm not gonna do that to you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post the information up on there. I'm gonna continue to announce it periodically, because Josh got us on the couch right now. Okay.
Yeah, we're on the couch. So what do we do? Dr. Josh, what do you do? How do you learn how to have that balance? With someone? How do you not stress out the functional person, when you are accustomed to dysfunction?
Yeah. So I think that the first thing is acknowledgement, right? Like if you and Lacey were on the couch, I would simply point out that, okay, Nakia has this thing that has happened in her life, this traumatic thing, right? Her parents, and because of that, her red flags are much more easily triggered than yours. And just because that's triggered doesn't mean something's wrong. It means she wants to be attentive and mop it up quick, because she doesn't want it to bleed over into anything that could be a detriment to the marriage. And Lacey, you're a little bit more laxed about it, right? But a need for her is to, if something comes up, she needs attentiveness to that, right? This goes to sort of what we need in our marriages. And just because he doesn't think it's, worth, but it's also a cool balance, right? Because I'm sure there's been times he's been like, hey, we shouldn't be worrying about this. We're good. And I'm sure there's been times where maybe it's been hard being like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we are good. So that's a nice yin and yang.
Yeah.
And Lacey said before, I don't know if it was last month or the month before, that he had a really secure relationship, like as a child, with his parents. And if you look at attraction, kids from secure attachment tend to find people that are a little bit more anxious, right? Because they want to be the protector. They want to, they want to like bring you in and it's going to be okay and give you a big hug, right? So it's no, and I don't want to assume your attachment style in childhood, but it kind of makes sense a little bit, right?
Very, very affectionate though. Like, one of the things that I really, really like about him that, that I always liked from the beginning is he's a very affectionate, communicative man. I guess I could use that word. I don't know. Is it a word? I feel like it's a word, whatever.
No, it is. Yeah.
So, so like he's very secure in himself. And I'm like, I want, those kinds of children, because it really helps. We have a society of men that, one, are not able to communicate their thoughts, and things that they're dealing with. And then we also have a society of people who have not accepted, the thoughts, of men and their feelings, and embrace that they are people too, and all that. And so, I was like, we started dating, and I'm like, you try to act like you're not, all in and all that kind of stuff. And like, he just kind of overwhelms you with like, yep, this how I feel. This what it is. I'm affectionate. I'm hugging when I feel like you just kind of give in. And that's great. It's an awesome thing.
It's a good problem to have, right? I think too, like, what we do, having for couples to have like a weekly or bi-weekly check-in, maybe once every other week or just like, okay, like, hey, what red flags are up for you right now? Is there anything that you need? Is there anything that I'm doing that, and like you talk about intimacy, is there anything on the intimate side of things that, you're missing or you're wanting or desiring? And really actually schedule that. That's tough with kids, but it can just be 10 minutes on Wednesday night before you fall asleep and just pillow talk. Right. But I'm a big believer that so much of us has to do with our parents. I mean, I'll give you just a quick story. So about Katie and I. So I grew up with two older brothers and we all loved sports. And Carlton, I don't know if you were a sports guy growing up. I know you love watching sports now, but it was almost like sports was our religion. Every boy played multiple sports. We were pretty good at sports. I'm 6'7". I'm this basketball, baseball guy. And it was very much like bite your lip, toughen up, don't let them see you cry. Right. And, my parents, God bless them. I love my parents. I know they love me. I have secure attachment, but they didn't show affection and love through much touch. So if I was having a hard time, it's not like I would get like this and, oh, it's okay. That's not really what I got. I got it through other ways. Maybe it'd be words of encouragement or something like that. So, okay, fast forward to my marriage. I'm struggling. Maybe I'm crying about something and Katie starts rubbing my back. And that feels really weird to me. Right now, and she's laughing because this is true. And it took me a long time to figure out, like, how come I'm so uncomfortable with having touch for comfort? Like it should feel good, but it doesn't. Yeah. Right. And it would make me kind of squirm. But that's a perfect example in my mind of how our parents, it's not that she was doing anything wrong or I felt wrong for not wanting to be touched in a moment of despair. It's just that that's not how my family of origin comforted. And so we're not used to that. And we just have to acknowledge like, hey, that's not how I need to be shown love in the moment. And I've also worked on it too, because it's important for Katie to show love in that way. Yeah. So, but that's a perfect example about even the littlest things are so influenced by family of origin.
Yeah. I think that I'm in the same background as you with that. Like I never received, I can say this now, because I hug my dad now, but I never hugged my dad prior.
Yeah.
Never.
Me too.
Never. I never told my dad I love him. I never did none of that. Now me and my dad is like this, you know, we were like best friends and everything. But I believe we're in the same background as far as that. Like, so when Kelli does things, like she thinks I'm pushing her away. No, I'm just like, what are you doing?
Right.
I just, let me deal with it.
Let me use one of his lines that he was of. Well, just say it then. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Just say it. That's the problem. Just say that.
That's the problem. Just say it. Anyway. But let's do this. Okay, because I promised the viewers we're gonna do some do's and don'ts of marriage. I hope everything we have been saying been helpful for you. I did put up Josh's information up at www.hopehealingchange.com. Okay. Again, it's right there in the comment section, but just to say it to the viewers who listen on podcasts, you can reach Brother Josh at www.hopehealingchange.com. Okay, that's a free plug. I guarantee you he will take care of you, take care of us right now, because I'm on the couch, literally.
You know, I didn't even sign up to be on the couch, and I somehow I got all into my feelings and
see,
and you know, and he gonna watch this like he was on the
couch. So let's do a couple of these things of do's and don'ts. Okay, I'm about to say a word, and y'all tell me if it's a do or don't. Okay, let's do it that way. All right. Compare.
Don't.
Why is it so important? Don't compare your relationships to other people's relationships. All those pictures that you see on Facebook and Instagram.
It's a facade.
It's very a facade. Okay.
Because a lot of people, they want to put that thing out there. Oh, we're together. The image that we're together. We're doing great. We're doing fantastic. And then you turn around and you just coming to waving by and saying, hey, how you doing? And then they got a whole attitude with one another and looking and rolling their eyes and whatever else. But, you know, It ain't that. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I can see you taking some things from somebody's relationship and saying, oh, okay, I like the way they do that. You know, like, I would like that incorporated, like, just say, okay, they always giving each other compliments. You know, that you could take something like that from a relationship, but don't compare your relationship.
I'm emotionally unstable.
I want to have a great relationship.
Like that. I understand, Carlton. You know, if you want our swag, I get it. You know, everybody can't be as cool. And it's okay for you to.
Why you gotta do that, man? I don't come for you, Nakia.
It's okay.
All right, here we go. All right, here's another one. Try to change the other person.
Don't.
I would say don't.
Not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
You can't change another person.
Nope.
You don't want to, but it's not gonna.
And the more you try to change that person, the more you're gonna end up hurt. The more emotional distance there's gonna be, and the more you are gonna push that person towards what you're trying to change about them. 3 principles of change right there.
All right, you ready? Another one. Fighting unfairly.
I
love it. She said, do.
And when you fight unfairly, snap right in their face. Okay.
The snap.
You see what I go through? You see how intense this was? This is real intense.
I want to be
gotta fight fair. Really quickly though, in your mind, what does unfair fighting look like?
Okay, yeah. Okay, I want everyone to give their example. of fighting unfairly. Okay, Kelly, I would like you to do the first one. Fight unfair.
Fighting unfair when you bringing up something that you know that other person don't like or something like that.
All right, my definition is bringing up the past that you say you forgive me for.
Yeah.
But what about you forgive, but you don't forget Josh.
Poor Josh.
I hear that all the time. Okay, yes, I forgive, but you don't forget of what happened. You understand what I'm saying? So
you have the scar still. You have the scar still. It's healed.
Now talk to that, Josh. Talk to it. Come on.
It's 7 o'clock. You guys later.
Expect to not have to deal with this open wound. Like the wound is still there. You're gonna have to stick through the band-aids, through the ointments, through the stitching, and because you created the wound.
Yeah.
Here's what I think about it. If you bring something up that was previously like forgiven, you know what that tells me? It hasn't really been forgiven, and it hasn't really been fully resolved. So we better talk about that too. And that's okay. I mean, sometimes we think something's resolved and it's not. It happens. We're human.
Boy.
Oh, anyway. I was trying to get my snack on.
Oh no.
Okay.
What
all right, come on.
About is like if a pattern of behavior continues to repeat itself.
Certainly.
Because I'm sure that there's instances too where it's like, oh, baby or honey, I'm so sorry I did that. I'll never do that again. Okay, I forgive you. And then that behavior is repeated.
For sure. Like if it's like you get yelled at and it's like, I don't want to be yelled at, and you talk like, okay, like I'm not going to yell. And then it happens again. I mean, I do think that's kind of fair game to say like, hey, we talked about this. Like we talked about this 4 months ago and you said you weren't going to yell in our fights anymore. And here you are screaming at me.
Yeah.
So it depends. It depends if it's something more like
he eating my Raisinets. I told you don't eat them before. Why would you eat them again?
I'd say fair game. Sorry. Sorry.
Pray for her.
That was just last week. I'm just saying.
She's a descendant of Eve.
But if it's unrelated, like say someone incurred a bunch of debt, that's a big thing in people's marriages, financial stuff. And, you're working through the debt and that's been talked about. It's forgiven. We're going to work through it together. And then a fight starts about something completely different. And then you bring up something like, see, this is totally you. Just like that time you went in all that debt, that would be fighting unfairly.
Yeah.
That would be something where I would have to say, okay, now we're going to have to address this financial thing because it seems like there's some hurt there. So it depends.
I say name calling. That of course don't result to name calling.
No.
Any type of action of abuse, like Kelly throw pencils at me. That's why.
I done asked you what that was.
That was a pencil.
I didn't
that was a pencil. I was asleep and she had a pencil.
No, and your mama threw a pencil at you when you was a kid. That's what happened.
All right. See, I got other stuff I got to deal with on the couch. Okay, mama abuse and all the other mess. What other things? Fighting unfairly. Let's say about this. All right.
Hitting below the belt, like not using areas that the other person is vulnerable in. As a stab at them. Like you get in an argument and then you want them to be upset like you're upset, and you're like, that's why you ain't never learned how to read. Don't do that. Don't say that.
Oh my God.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Because I believe every spouse knows the other spouse's insecurities.
The buttons to push.
No, in buttons and insecurities. And
insecurities, yeah.
Deep flaws, like something that is like, I hold myself like, okay, when I see it.
Yes. Because that hurts my feelings. It bothers me when other people say it. I work real hard to do X, Y, and Z. Like, or like the person is like self-conscious about, their eyebrows or, or hair or something, whatever it is, and you like that's why you don't have no edges, and she's sensitive about her edges.
Yeah,
like,
my girl edges.
Nakia, you got edges?
I got edges though. Yes, I do. I have edges. Yes,
you had, yes. Past tense.
Have.
You said had, H-A-D. That's what you said.
Have. Look at them. See that? And I made sure they didn't braid my edges up because I want to make sure I have them after the hairstyle too. So.
Okay, I apologize. I apologize, Lacey, your wife got edges, okay?
Talking about each other's mother.
Someone posted it in the comment section.
Like,
talking about each other's parents, other parents.
That's not
good. I love my in-laws though, so I don't have to worry about that. My in-laws are good.
All right, ready? Next one. Be willing to forgive. Do or don't.
Do.
Yeah, do.
Yeah.
Connect daily.
Oh man, that's a do.
I mean, you should, but sometimes you don't get a chance to because it's a lot going on.
Yeah, these are no-brainers, right? Definitely. Try to, yeah.
Hold on. I'm about to be paid for 1 second because I got this person who's in this comment section keep on bothering me. Okay?
It's somebody else. They said, whose job is it to wash the dishes? Don't ask that question to yourself. No, it's supposed to be the both of y'all washing dishes. Feels the need to wash these dishes, then that's who wash them. That's it. That's all.
Let me just brag on. Let me brag.
That was for me. That was a shot towards me. I know it was from Darius. Because my husband doesn't mind washing dishes, and whenever Darius hears about or sees Lacey washing dishes, he's like, that you got to do your job, dude. He does it purposely to get under my skin, but it's one thing I don't really like doing. But I mean, my husband doesn't cook, but I don't mind cooking. Whenever. So he doesn't mind washing dishes. It works. Darius, mind your business.
Whatever works, right? Whatever works for your relationship, that's what works. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you find a wife who just want to wash dishes all the time. I ain't met nobody like that, but okay.
You ain't gonna get into that generation.
I like paper plates. I don't serve him on a paper plate, but I eat out of paper plates because it's one less dish.
Girl, teach these kids.
God, I'm just saying, I try not to feed the man on a paper plate. It's just.
Nakia brings up a good point. Maybe it'd be a good discussion point for another night is how marriage has kind of changed in our culture. Marriage now is so much more egalitarian. It's so much more equal. Like we divvy up the chores, we delegate, and it didn't used to be like that just a very short time ago. Like
it used to be the man's world. It used to be. Now
that was when the man was the only one working. Don't start.
I did not say anything. All I said it used to be a man's world, and you took a bit. What I said.
But some roles really haven't changed that much, and they never will, and that's why you have, in some cases, women that are like super stressed because a woman can work 40 hours, but her job as the mother never changes. It doesn't matter how many hours you work. You're no less mom or no less wife when you come home. But you can work all day and come home.
You know what? Hold on. Let's digress. I feel like
you can. But as a mom and a wife, you work all day and you come home and you still have.
That's all you need to do. You're right. No, you said you're right, and then we can move on.
You're right. I'm gonna put it on the shelf.
Which is why you still going? A man that doesn't mind washing dishes.
All right.
Those washing those dishes, it does a lot for me. I'm telling you that dishwashing. I'm telling you, it'll go a long way. One less thing I got to do. Okay.
We'll put it on the shelf.
So I'm just gonna say, the more time you spend helping, the more time she has available to cater to you.
You're right, Nakia.
I ain't so tired now.
You're right.
I ain't so. Come on, Kelly. I knew somebody would pick me up in the spirit.
Anyway,
come on, spirit realm. Okay.
Josh, you're right. Next month,
that's right, Kelly. Lay out. You got to lay prostrate.
Next month we'll talk.
We cut Kelly off. Kelly had a story about washing dishes or something, right?
We pinning it right now. We pinning it. We pinning that.
I'm gonna write it down. I got you.
I didn't say Kelly. I said Katie.
Katie, yeah. Oh yeah, Katie.
Yeah, I said Katie had a story.
No, all I was gonna say is just like it doesn't even have to be something huge. Like one thing that I really appreciate about Josh, because I usually take care of the interior, he takes care of the exterior, but one thing, you know, since I've been pregnant that he said to me was, you know, I know that like you're exhausted now. And so I'm really going to be intentional about doing one thing a day that helps you, whether it is cooking or loading or unloading the dishwasher or whatever. And that really does, like even him saying that meant a lot to me, and he does it, you know. And now I have time for other things.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
Baby number two, 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 baby number two. Oh.
What's wrong with Josh?
Blink, Josh.
That's okay.
It's okay. It's okay, Josh. He's okay. Everybody, all our viewers, don't know what the blinking.
Yeah, Josh.
To our viewers on YouTube.
Did he do the dance? He didn't do the dance.
What? Say it again.
He didn't do it. Yeah.
Come on, dance.
To our viewers on YouTube and on Facebook. All right. If we blink, I know y'all can't see it on the podcast, but if we blink, it's Morse code. Don't worry about it. Morse code. Can't help us.
You don't even know Morse code.
I know man code. That's man code. When a man do that. When I say I'm hungry, Josh know what that means. Yeah, what you want to eat. Yeah, he got me. All right, there you go. But anyway, we're gonna bring that up. That's a great point, Josh. We're gonna bring that up for the next week. Okay. Conversation. But one person asking us a question in the comment section, and we're gonna end it right there. But next month, we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about the difference of marriages from our grandparents and parents to now. I think that's going to be interesting because I believe it's more 50-50-ish or more 65-40-ish.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next month because I don't know why I'm definitely the
65. I'm definitely the 70 and she 30. All right.
He over here lying. And y'all make sure he don't take
of what? What are you talking about? Where are you basing these numbers off of?
I'm basing off the book of Chronicles. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I mean, 70% of what? 30% of what? You know,
doing 30%. I'm doing 70%.
He's telling the stories. You know what?
We know, Kelly. You don't have to defend it. We know better. People watching that don't even know him. They know that.
People that know me know I'm telling the truth. Support me.
Because look, you have to. The thing is to always get to
what's on the face? Why she gave me the face? You see her face? It was like a face of disgust. She's like, no.
So the goal is to get to 100, right?
The goal is 100.
Idea I got from Kelly and I think Teddy Pendergrass. I can't remember, but your goal is to get to 100. But like everybody. It might be 70-30 one day. It could be 60-40 another day. It could be an actual 50-50 another day. Like it's so many factors that go into making it a good thing. You know what I mean? Like it's so many pieces. Like it's money, it's housework, it's food, it's attention, it's bedroom activities. It's so many things. And then it takes somebody to have the extra, to be emotionally intuitive, to pick up on the underlying current of the relationship, whereas the other person might be so busy doing different things. And then this person works on the little pieces, intricate pieces of the marriage that keep it together. And they're moving pieces. So it's really hard to say. That's why you can't really look at another relationship because you never really know what percentage this person and that person is putting in.
Nakia, we're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna talk about
that. Yeah, because you're lying. Yeah.
I'm lying. But anyway, forget it. Okay, look, we're gonna talk about that next month. Okay, next month, since you so heavily opinionated about this thing.
No, we all are.
Well, no, we are. KU is right. Josh do 80%.
They know what I'm. The ladies, they know what I'm saying.
Josh told me the truth.
So it don't matter. You could do all the work and then pay all the bills, and that's still only half of what make it all come together.
Yes.
Team effort.
I'm not about to argue.
Okay, snap it, Katie. I mean, I'm holding all my good points. I'm just saying.
Okay. Let me.
You keep getting in my light, blocking my face. You the one, and you feel me pushing you over. Like he like, oh, I like this. My light. He done got the light thing going. What you got the light thing going for? You gonna keep getting in my light? No, it still make me shadow over here. Okay.
Anyway. Let her shine. Kelly want to shine. All right. She said she got 70% worth of shine, and you making the 30% shadow.
Okay.
You all in her light.
You're right.
Oh.
Shine,
right.
Kelly, shine.
Okay. So this is the thing, right? Listen to this. It says, how do you tell your spouse what body type you desire? I.e., like as in like what, working out, maybe you would like your spouse to work out more? Or like maybe if your spouse is looking at somebody and you're like, oh, you must like that because you're looking at that person. You're like, oh, that person looked really nice. So now I'm kind of comparing myself to that person. Like, do you like that person body type or do you like my body type? No. No help. Don't help him, Josh.
All the podcast viewers, you don't know I'm blinking right now because I don't know what.
We done talked about you blinking. That's it. That's all.
No. I don't know how to answer this question because this can go both ways. This either the person asking the body type that she desire her spouse to be, or is it what her spouse is looking at others?
I think it go both ways. What do you want me to look like, and what do I want you to look like? I kind of feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like it goes both ways. So let's answer the question both ways. Now, Carlton, you used to have abs back in the day. What? Like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. I think it's something you have to decide, you know, hey, is the physical appearance and it's actually a really good question because I think a lot of times people feel like they feel shallow because they want to tell their spouse that, hey, like I like when you look this way. You don't have to feel shallow or anything like that. I mean, I think it's just a discussion of, you know, if the question is how do you tell somebody what body type you like, that's the question that I heard, is quite frankly just open honesty with. And you want to be gentle with that. I mean, if you're with someone that's like wildly out of shape or something, you're like, hey, I like really buff dudes like that, you know, but you sort of have to say like, hey, physical activity is something that's really important to me. A lot of people see that as like, I need someone to have the stamina to go on adventures with me. So my question is like, is it a physical appearance thing? Is it like a longevity thing? Is it driven from like sexual desire? It is, but it's a really good question, and I think it's a tricky thing to talk about. But I would want to know more about that question. I would encourage that person maybe flesh out that question a little bit more. Like if they were if they were on my couch, I would ask, you know, hey, right? I would say, hey, be a little bit more specific. Like, what's the goal? What are you hoping to know? What knowledge do you want?
Hey, do you have pillows on your couch? I just want to know that because I think when I'm on your couch, I need to have a pillow.
I do. I have a pillow. I have a pillow on the couch. Very comfortable. I get great comments on how comfortable my furniture is in my office.
Because I want to look at you. This is me looking at you on your couch like this. This is me. All right.
What's funny, I probably didn't answer that question very well. But yeah, I would say open and honesty and be upfront with your feelings. Just say, like, this is something that is important to me. And I'm going to go back to this. This is the last thing I'll say about it because I know we're running out of time. Don't be afraid to present your dilemma. Like, hey, I really want to talk to you about something, but I'm scared if I bring it up, I'm going to hurt you. And that's not my intention. And then the person's going to, of course, say, well, what is it? And say, well, you know, like, it's really important that we go to the gym together for me. I'm not saying that because I feel like you're out of shape. I'm saying that because it's just something that I feel, and it's sexy and it's a turn on, or it makes me think that you'll be, will live long lives, or whatever it may be. So present that dilemma, right? I'm nervous to tell you about this thing. And at the same time, and I want to tell you, but at the same time, I'm scared I'm going to push you away. So yeah. And another funny thing is when people come in for counseling, I'm like, have you ever been in counseling before? And they say, no, I never have. I say, okay, well, why don't you lay down? I'm going to hypnotize you. And they're like, what? And no, you don't lay on a couch. You do not lay on a couch. You do not do it, Carl. You can do what Carlton's doing. There is no hypnotizing. There is hypnotists out there that will hypnotize you, but that's not what I do. I said, why don't you lay down? Tell me about your earliest memory.
Okay.
Let's go back to the first time you felt hurt. Let's go back.
So then somebody put how to talk about sexual desire with your spouse.
Yeah.
Am I in the same chat as everybody else?
I don't know what you're looking at.
That's so important.
It's on the on a word page.
Yeah.
This is a we don't kink shame on this podcast, right? We don't kink shame. No, it's sex is all about open, honest communication, and it'll make sex a lot better for you if you start to tell.
Katie. Okay.
You know what?
You gotta get it.
I love Kelly's spunk.
And that's why when I was telling Nakia about those appointments, I know people that in their appointment, a topic every time is like, are your sexual needs being met? And again, it's nothing to feel shallow about or weird. It's just a part of marriage. It's a part of life. And, sometimes things do come up that are just more of a fetish, or like kinky. And that's when someone like a sex therapist can come into play, or you go back to that dilemma. Like, I'm scared to tell you about this fantasy I have because I'm so scared of pushing you away. And I need to know that I'm not going to be judged, something like that. Great question.
Yeah, that could be a whole another show. I know the bishop is praying that, but that really could be a whole nother show. I think a lot of Christian marriages in particular struggle in that area because in the church it's not encouraged to have those kinds of conversations. Right. But that doesn't change the fact that it's a part of marriage. And so now you want people to have strong marriages, but you have certain areas of the marriage that are not discussed, or you have grown up to feel, so uncomfortable and feel like certain conversations are so taboo that you're now not even able to have those kinds of conversations or that freedom with who's supposed to be your partner, until death do you part. So I think that it's definitely, especially with, Christians, in order for us to have stronger marriages in church, there are going to have to be some circles and some opportunities for people to learn, how to communicate and be more comfortable in those areas. I mean, because you don't pray and worship all the time.
Yeah. And comfort and guidelines or comfort and boundaries are really important too. And it's guys and gals out there, it's really important to talk about sex life. It is. I mean, there's nothing wrong if you have a certain preference in the bedroom or whatever. You're right, that Nakia, that could be a whole episode of how to talk about that.
All right, let's do this. Let's do that. We're gonna have to do that. A sex life and marriage. We gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
We are gonna say this. For some reason, some way, I don't know how this came about, but the church makes sex uncomfortable, and kids still popping up in the church. I don't understand how that's uncomfortable. The math doesn't equate. We don't talk about sex.
You're not gonna talk about it, but you're gonna do the act of it.
Yeah, we keep getting looked.
We need to figure that out. But anyway, that's just
you ain't even having fun while you doing whatever you're doing.
All right.
We did it full of guilt, and that's shameful.
And us.
Shameful.
And I do say this is most important. If you're not having sex in your marriage, it's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't give flying raccoon what your bishop, your apostle, or anyone else says. Sex is ordained by God. It's a requirement in your marriage. You gotta have it.
For procreation.
I mean, sex is more than just about the procreation. It's more about the coming together, the intimacy between two people, sharing and displaying each other love and affection.
Oh,
You like how I put that? You
listen
know?
to him.
Hey, I got that from Hey, look.
You know, the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire was on last night. So I'm taking notes over here, okay?
Hello. Hey, when he said that, I like, that's all he said. Hello. I like Ron.
It wasn't what he said, it was the way he said it.
Come on. I like the Isleys.
All right, I'm just saying. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. I hope that everyone enjoyed this conversation. I hope we address some of the do's and some of the don'ts of marriage. We talked about some other things, but we're gonna come back to the sex part, and we're gonna come back to the part of the difference of marriage between our grandparents, our parents, and now. We're definitely gonna talk about that. Probably gonna do that. Dang, we're gonna have to do both for next month.
And that's the mother. It's Mother's Day month. Look, Mother's Day month.
Yeah.
You just had a whole woman's month. God, man.
It's okay. You can have June. Well, you can have half of June.
That's my birthday. No.
Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have to come back and have that conversation. Definitely talk about the sex life and the difference between marriages between our grandparents, our parents, and marriages now. Okay. Again, for everyone who is now just tuning in, if you want to get in contact with Brother Josh, you can go to www.hopehealingchange.com. He will surely reach out to you after you fill out his questionnaire, submit your request, and he would gladly get back with you. Okay, please put your correct name. Don't put your alias names on there or anything. Like if I was doing that, I would be like, "Hey, this is Robert." What?
That's your granddad.
Robert.
Okay.
No, anyway,
he took his granddaddy name. Like, oh, let me go ahead.
Yeah, Bob.
Abysmal. What's that name? Remember on TV? Abysmal.
Abysmal. Abysmal. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, don't worry about it.
Call me John Doe.
Don't call me John Doe. Call me Abysmal. Okay. But if you have more questions that you want us to talk about, we will gladly talk about it. We took your questions today. You can email us at wordrestorationministries03@gmail.com, or you can submit a message on our Facebook page or
any of the pages.
Any pages or any one of us. Do not message Nakia. Okay. You can message me because Nakia, she works a lot. Okay. Her time and everything is different. Okay. All right. So I don't want everybody to submit a question to Josh because he's a busy man. Okay. Submit it to me. I make sure Josh get it. And if you want counseling with him, go to www.hopehealingchange.com. He will gladly reach out to you. Okay. Again, thank you for being with us on today's segment on the do's and don'ts of marriage therapy on the couch. Anyway, every time we say the couch.
The couch.
Yeah, right.
Everybody got it. All right. Nakia, I see a couch in the background. So guess what? So again, thank you for your support and your help. I see some questions on there. We are going to address those. Trust me, we're going to address those. It says, what about withholding sex when you're mad? Oh, that's a
don't.
That's a no way. No. But that ain't no. You mad?
Oh, that's how you get.
Well, anyway, that's a whole nother subject. Again, thank you. Follow our podcast. Follow the podcast on Google Podcasts, Radio Plus, Breaker, Anchor, and Spotify. You can follow us at Congress Servants. You can look up the marriage conversations up. You can listen to our previous conversations for season 1 and 2. This is season 3, episode 1. Just letting everybody know. So everybody say hello. Everybody can say goodbye. Nakia, say goodbye and closing remarks.
Bye.
She was talking all this time, but when I say give closing remarks, she said bye. You know what?
I'm waiting on the next show.
Oh, you went on the next show. Oh, the sex part. We're gonna talk about the sex part.
That's the show after the next show, but that's gonna be a good one too.
I think we just need to
go. Don't worry, we won't be doing any demonstrations. We won't.
No, that disclaimer out there. No demonstrations.
We won't have any, no chains and chapstick. We'll be on the show. So
we'll talk about.
All right.
Oh, we're gonna have to put the song on.
What song?
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Oh, there you go.
Ian snapping. Come on.
All right, Kate, do you have any closing words?
Have a wonderful evening and don't withhold sex.
I love Katie. I love it. I love it. Yes, Katie said it. Your turn. Your turn.
Yes, this is Kelly, and I'm signing off because I just don't have nothing else to say. My husband, he's crazy. I can say that. He's crazy, and he's going to say some crazy things. The rest of us, we're telling you some really good information you should listen to, okay? We get one boat with Josh. Josh in the boat with us, and he's in the boat by himself.
I'm in the boat with a couch.
Josh is
you visit our church and meet some more crazy people like this too, because the bishop sends people home to have sex. So it has happened. It has happened during service. She has taken out a married couple. Like, yeah, y'all go home and get busy. That's what y'all get up out of here.
What
you know, like Bishop, did you hear that in the spirit? Did the Lord tell you to get busy? Wow. Yeah, she'll do that.
Yeah. I'll just say, I'm so grateful to be a part of this group. Invest in your relationship, whether that's going to counseling or talking to each other. Invest in relationship, please.
That's good.
See? That's why I'm the bad guy always, and Josh is the good guy.
It's a good dynamic, though. It's a good dynamic.
It's a good dynamic. I mean, it's like, he's Batman, I'm the Joker. You can have me. I can have.
Okay, y'all was made for each other.
Just the question is, why it's so serious? Why are you shaking your head, Nakia? All right, got you. I got you. No words. All right, got you. Anyway, we love you. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. I hope this was a great episode. If you like it, please share it. Again, go to the YouTube channel of Word Restoration Ministries and the Congress of Servants. You can go to the YouTube, you get the video to do a replay. You can do the replay back at Word Restoration Ministry page. Make sure you share it with others. That'd be greatly appreciated. And continue submitting all your questions to us, and we surely will get with you. Again, probably next month, forget it, Josh, we're just going to talk about sex next month, okay? Let's go straight to the sex because they got a question. And the Saints got questions, and we're going to answer it. Yep, we're going to talk about sex and
be a good one.
That'll be good.
All right, and Nakia better have her hair done and makeup on.
Okay, Nakia, you're doing my makeup next month, okay?
What? Oh, wow, Carlton, thanks a lot. I gotta have a conversation with my husband and see what all I can say.
Keep it.
That's good. That'll give me some time. Like,
okay. I'm gonna put all the disclaimers out there in the beginning, so don't worry about it.
What you don't want me to say in public?
All right, see, never mind. Never mind. Anyway, love you, Kate and Josh, Nakia.
He love you too.
Love you too, bro. Love
Kelli.
you too, bro.
Yeah, you can tell me later tonight.
Hey. Hey.
I'm going straight on the couch.
Guys, and you guys, we already know, but just continue to keep my boo in your prayers and whatnot. As he's out here in these streets with these crazy people. Can you say crazy on the internet? Can we still call people crazy? I don't know if that's.
I miss him on here. I miss him having my back.
It's wild. It's a lot going on.
There you go.
All right. Again, goodbye to everyone. Until next time.
See ya.